Good morning, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, and I was trying to type up my little blurb for you. I was going to say next rain on the way, quite a wind that could be dangerous in some locations for Thursday on the Great Lakes, and just all kinds of weather coming this way. So let's get to it. The Cliff Notes. Haven't said that word in a long time. The Cliff Notes is a rain tonight and tomorrow, a big wind on Thursday on the Great Lakes, and then another rain by the time we get to Saturday into possibly on Father's Day. So we'll cover all that stuff for you. If you have any questions, just let me know. Here is the radar, and all the motion of this is to the northeast, so you might think, wow, there's rain over in Wisconsin. We'll have it in Ann Arbor and Detroit and Flint and Saginaw real quickly. No, I'll show you the radar forecast here, and it takes a while. It takes until this evening before the rain starts to get into the southeast, okay? First, the big picture on what's going on. So, a storm system is starting to form, and again, it's almost a merger with one of these storms down to the south, merging over toward Michigan. So here is tomorrow morning. Hey, good morning, Domino's Farms, and good morning, Stephen and Vicki Van Asperen from Grand Rapids. Hey, good morning, Colleen McClellan from Traverse City. So this is tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Storm center forming, and you can start to see the isobars. That means the wind pattern is starting to crank up. Good morning, Alto. About ready to pack bags and move to Arizona. It's hot there, too. Okay, tomorrow afternoon, storm center and cold northwesterly winds into tomorrow night. And Friday looks dry in southern lower. The next stretched out area of showers and storms will be forming, and that's going to gradually shift south with waves traveling along it. Okay, so we're into Saturday morning, and you can see the next wave starting to shoot out along the front. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday midday, and Sunday evening. So a lot of periods of showers and storms will fire along this frontal system right here, and we don't know the exact timing. Everything's been kind of wanting to sweep things out by sometime on Father's Day in the first half of it. So we'll hope. And a lot of times it goes faster than that. If thunderstorms get rolling just to our south, they can kind of sweep the whole mess quicker by about 12 hours. Here's your radar forecast for today, okay? So if you're working in the southeast, I think you're going to stay dry for most of the daylight hours. This is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon. You've got showers in northern lower. You've got showers in eastern UP. Alicia Bird Johnson, how about Benton Harbor for the weekend? Kayaking Friday or Saturday? Friday would be better than Saturday because Saturday turns stormy. Friday should be dry. Garrett Darby, is there something contributing to this long-term wet weather pattern? Jet stream, El Nino. The big driver, I think, is the Pacific Ocean, from the United States, Canada coast over toward Asia is warmer than normal, and it's kind of, I don't want to use the term boiling up, but it's got the moisture coming off of it and developing storm systems. Brother's getting married at 2 on Saturday outside in Frankenmuth. Let's just go back to that real quick. See what that could look like. Let's see. 2 o'clock. Now again, we're going to have clumps of thunderstorms, so the timing of this is not what I would bank on as being accurate, but 2 o'clock could be pretty good in Frankenmuth on Saturday. Let's hope so. Here's our radar forecast for today. So we're at 5 o'clock, and see how I say Detroit Ann Arbor, Flint, Saginaw, the Thumb, you stay dry. Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, you start to get into the showers and thunderstorms in the evening hours, hit and miss, and the storm really doesn't get going until later tonight. Now, this is midnight tonight where it's starting to boil up, the showers and thunderstorms. Hey, good morning, Mayor of Frankenmuth, Mary Ann Ackerman. Thanks for joining us on MLive. Curtis Jack, is it true we may not see many 90s? Well, we don't see the 90s for the next 3 weeks, so it's got to flip-flop and do it pretty quickly. So here we go with the longer term model into tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's wet. And then this is tomorrow afternoon. You can see the pivot point again. So what happens is these spokes of showers and thunderstorms rotate around. Not severe, because we'll start with rain and we'll be cool. And in here, this is Thursday evening. The storm tries to roll off, but remember the pivot point over here in this model wants to swing another piece of rain through the thumb. And finally by Friday morning, dry. But look what's up here. How will the weather tomorrow be in Ann Arbor? Tomorrow will be wet in Ann Arbor. It will be wet and yeah. Okay, so there it is tomorrow. Take your raincoat with you and wear something a little bit warmer than what you'd expect for this time of the year. Rainfall totals through this whole mess. Yeah, there's some places that could get another 2 inches. I wouldn't, again, take the exact placement of this as being accurate, but rather that it's a 1/4 to 1/2 inch rain easily. A lot of places will be near an inch, and some isolated patches, maybe about the half the size of a county, will be over 2 inches. And again, this is a Great Lakes water level feeder, which means the Great Lakes will continue to go up. Okay. Nicole, how does Father's Day look? I think the second half is going to be dry, but we are going to have to keep an eye on it. Okay, it's, I'll be honest, we get at times where the timing 3 and 4 days out of a rain, we don't exactly know. We kind of know how they usually play out, and that's where we're at right now. That frontal system will be stretched across Michigan, and these little wiggles in the atmosphere that set off the rain will ride along that front, and they'll come through and give you a 1 to 3 hour batch of rainfall, another 1 to 3 hour batch, and as each one of these comes through, it produces a northwest wind behind it and shoves the front further and further south. So if one of these comes through really robustly, it can shove that front south into Ohio and Indiana real quickly. So we'll keep an eye on it, okay? All right, the next thing is the wind, and it will be interesting for 90% of us, 95%. It will be dangerous for others. Don't get near up here on the Great Lakes. This is the wind forecast for today, the wind gusts. And today, not so much, but as we get into that storm cranking up tomorrow, look what's going to happen. We're going to start to have 40-mile-an-hour gusts developing on Lake Michigan overnight tonight and moving southward toward the south end of Lake Michigan. You want to see some waves, head to Benton Harbor or Gary, Indiana. Now, this is tomorrow morning. And then look what happens out over the tip of the thumb in Lake Huron as that storm cranks up here. North wind, and Port Austin and Port Harbor Beach are going to get just lambasted. This model's forecasting 60-mile-an-hour winds out over the lake, maybe 40 to 50-mile-an-hour winds. So we're going to see quite the wave action, quite the coastal flooding. Also down here, probably into Traverse City on a north wind. That could happen there as well. So this is Thursday night. You're looking at north winds at 40-mile-an-hour gusts in the thumb after a bunch of rain, and Caseville and Quanticosi and Port Austin over to Harbor Beach down to Port Sanilac. Going to be very rough. And hey, good morning, wife Lisa Torregrossa. So this is my point here. The Great Lakes now are at record levels, all but Lake Michigan, and that's only about 1 inch below record level. And when you get a wind that switches from southwest to north or northwest and picks up, that water level can change very quickly, 3, 4, 5 feet. So you want to keep close attention. If you're going to walk on a pier and enjoy the Great Lakes, it's a whole different ball game. You're going to want to pay close attention to the weather. You're going to want to look out into the water, and if you start to see those white caps, you're going to want to be off of that pier immediately, if you even go there. So that's your forecast. There's a lot of weather in it. I'll keep you updated here over the next couple of days, and we'll get through this, but it still is a wet pattern and signs of a little bit of a slowdown sometime next week, but not a great slowdown, and no real warmth, 80s for the next week or so. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the morning MLive Weather Update.